Ivory cardstock catches the late afternoon sunlight streaming through my kitchen window. My fingers trace the embossed gold lettering. Brielle and Marcus. 9 years of love. I arrange the invitations in neat stacks across my kitchen island, each one addressed and stamped, ready for tomorrow's mail run. 62 invitations to celebrate what took us nearly a decade to formalize. My phone rings. Mom's photo flashes on the screen, her Christmas portrait, perfect hair, perfect smile. I answer while sliding another invitation into its envelope. Hi, Mom. Brielle. Just checking in on my beautiful bride-to-be. Her voice carries that sing-song quality she reserves for what she considers special occasions. How are those invitations coming along? Just finishing up. I hold one to the light, admiring the shimmer of gold against cream. They turned out better than I expected. I'm sure they're lovely, honey. A pause. Her tone shifts, almost imperceptibly. Listen, there's a small issue we need to discuss. My stomach tightens. With Mom, small issues are rarely small. What's going on? She clears her throat. We need you to cancel your party. We're having Tyler's graduation BBQ that day. The invitation in my hand suddenly weighs 1,000 pounds. What? Mom, our date has been set for months. The venue is paid for. My voice sounds distant even to myself. Well, honey, these things happen. Her words breeze past my objection. Tyler finally finished his associate's degree. You know how hard he's worked. 2 years for a 1-year program. 3 different majors. My parents footing every bill. Let me talk to her. Dad's voice rumbles in the background before he comes on the line. Brielle, your brother finally finished his degree. This is important. My engagement is important too, Dad. You can reschedule. It's just an engagement party. The wedding's the main event anyway. Just an engagement party. 9 years condensed into something disposable. I stare at the 62 addressed envelopes. Postage paid. RSVPs included. The hours spent with Marcus choosing the perfect wording, the perfect paper. Our invitations are already sent, I say, my voice quiet but firm. We can't change the date now. Mom sighs dramatically as she reclaims the phone. You've always been so selfish when it comes to your brother. Why can't you ever consider his feelings? A familiar ache spreads across my chest. I reach for a glass of water, my throat suddenly parched. I'm not being selfish. We've had this date planned since January. Tyler just decided on his graduation party last week. Family comes first, Brielle. Dad's voice booms through the speaker. I picture him pacing their living room, face flushed with that righteous indignation he specializes in. You need to be the bigger person here. The bigger person. Always me, never Tyler. My fiancé is my family too. My hand trembles, but my voice holds steady. An image flashes through my mind. Empty seats in the auditorium at my college graduation. Magna cum laude. Engineering degree. 4 years of sleepless nights and summer internships. Sorry, honey. Tyler has a soccer tournament that weekend. Mom had explained over the phone that morning. The contrast cuts sharp. Tyler's middle school graduation a month later. Banners hanging from the porch. Relatives from 3 states crowding their backyard. A professional photographer documenting every moment. My achievements miniaturized. His magnified. My eyes drift to Marcus's family photo on the refrigerator. His parents flanking him at his promotion dinner last year, their faces beaming with pride. The way his mother called me the next day just to say how proud she was of me too for supporting him through 60-hour work weeks while he earned that promotion. That's what family means to them. Mom's voice grows increasingly distant as I finger the golden edge of an invitation. We've already invited everyone, she says. Your father's golf buddies, my church friends. It would be embarrassing to change plans now. I won't be canceling our engagement party. The words come out calmer than I feel. Silence stretches between us, heavy and electric. Dad's voice cuts through, cold as January steel. Then don't expect us to be there. Tyler will be so disappointed. Mom's theatrical sigh follows. Again. They hang up before I can respond. I stand alone in my sunny kitchen, surrounded by ivory and gold promises. Invitations scatter beneath my fingertips like fallen leaves. The perfect afternoon light now feels harsh, exposing. The front door opens. Marcus steps into the kitchen, briefcase dropping to the floor when he sees my face. What happened? I look up at the man who stood beside me for 9 years. The man whose family celebrates my victories as their own. They want me to cancel our engagement party. My voice barely rises above a whisper. Tyler's graduation barbecue is suddenly scheduled for the same day. Marcus crosses the kitchen in 3 strides, his hands gentle on my shoulders. Would you cancel a celebration you've planned for years to accommodate someone else's last-minute event? Or would you finally stand your ground? And why does standing your ground always feel like a betrayal when family is involved? My phone buzzes against the kitchen counter like an angry hornet. It hasn't stopped for the past hour. I glance at the screen, another notification lighting up before the previous one fades. Aunt Susan. Sorry you're trying to ruin Tyler's big day. Your mother is devastated. Cousin James. Always thought you were the sensible one. Guess not. Uncle Robert. Family comes first, young lady. Very disappointed. Each message lands like a stone in my stomach. The phone buzzes again. I pull my hand back as if the screen might burn my fingers. What's going on? Marcus asks, looking up from his coffee. I don't know. I'm getting bombarded. My voice sounds distant, hollow. The phone rings. Aunt Susan. I answer, bracing myself against the counter. Brielle, how could you? Her voice trembles with practiced indignation. Your mother called me in tears this morning, scheduling your party knowing about Tyler's graduation. I never thought you'd stoop so low. My grip tightens on the phone. What are you talking about? Tyler's graduation date was only set last week. Our invitations went out a month ago. That's not what your mother says. The accusation hangs in the air between us. You knew all along and did this deliberately. The call ends. My hand shakes as I set the phone down. They're completely rewriting history, I whisper. Marcus reaches for my phone, his face hardening as he scrolls through the messages. This isn't random, this is coordinated. He hands me back the phone, open to a group text from my mother to the entire extended family. Heartbroken that Brielle has chosen to schedule her engagement celebration on the same day as Tyler's graduation, despite knowing how important this milestone is for him. Please keep our family in your prayers during this difficult time. Time-stamped 6:43 a.m. The earliest messages started arriving at 7:15. Check Facebook, I murmur, my fingers already typing my father's name. There, it eyes a post from 20 minutes ago. Sometimes the most disappointing moments come from those you've given everything to. Pray for parents dealing with ungrateful children. 17 sympathetic comments already. Distant relatives offering prayers. Church friends promising support. Another text arrives, Tyler this time. I read it aloud to Marcus. My sister has always tried to outshine me. I just wanted one day to celebrate my achievement. Marcus's jaw tightens. Outshine him? You've been working 60-hour weeks while he's been changing majors for 2 years. The phone rings again. I nearly drop it in my haste to silence the noise, but it's Marcus's mother. Brielle? Is everything all right? We just got a strange call from your mother asking us to reconsider attending your party. While I explain, Marcus's phone lights up with his father calling. The synchronized attack extends family now. My best friend Emma texts seconds after I hang up. Your mom just called me. This is a new low, even for them. They've done this before, I say, scrolling through the barrage of messages, but never this obvious, this calculated. My hand trembles as I set the phone down. The realization crashes over me like a wave. This isn't just about an engagement party. This is about destroying my reputation with the entire family. Making me the villain in a story they've fabricated completely. I can't believe they'd go this far, I whisper. Marcus pulls out a chair for me. What do you want to do? I stare at the phone, still buzzing with new messages. The engagement invitations sit in neat stacks across the counter, ready for tomorrow's mail run. The date embossed in gold, the 15th of June. A Saturday we chose 5 months ago. I'm not letting them get away with this, I say finally. My voice steadies as the words come out. I open my laptop and Marcus sits beside me. Keep it simple, he suggests as I start typing. Just facts. I craft the email carefully, addressed to every relative who's received my mother's version of events. I'd like to clarify a misunderstanding regarding our engagement celebration. Our party was scheduled in January, with invitations ordered in March and mailed last month. Tyler's graduation party was only announced last week. I've attached screenshots of the original venue booking confirmation and invitation order dates for reference. I hover over the send button, my finger trembling slightly. Send it, Marcus says softly. Within minutes, responses trickle in. Cousin Beth, I knew something didn't add up. Your mother made it sound like you did this deliberately. Great Aunt Marge, your mother has always had a blind spot when it comes to Tyler, dear. I'll be at your celebration. Uncle Jim, who just hours ago called me selfish, now writes, appreciate the clarification. Family communication, am I right? My shoulders relax slightly as more supportive messages arrive. The narrative begins to shift, truth spreading like ripples in a pond. My phone buzzes again. Tyler, you're making this harder than it needs to be. Just move your party. I stare at his message, the entitlement so familiar, it almost doesn't sting anymore. Almost. I've been moving aside my entire life, I whisper to myself, setting the phone face down on the counter. Another notification appears, a number I don't recognize. I hesitate before opening it. You don't know the whole story. There's more your parents haven't told you. Call me if you want to know the truth, Melissa. I show Marcus the message. Who's Melissa? He shakes his head. No idea. I stare at the cryptic text, my finger hovering over the reply button. What more haven't they told me? Dawn breaks through my bedroom curtains in thin golden slices. I've been awake for hours, staring at the ceiling, my phone resting on my chest. The weight of it feels heavier than it should. 3 missed calls from Mom, all between 5:30 and 6:15 this morning. 1 voicemail. I press play and hold the phone slightly away from my ear. Brielle, it's Mom. Her voice drips with that manufactured concern she's perfected over decades. Tyler is absolutely devastated. Honey, it's not too late to do the right thing. Call me back. The right thing. As if there's only one possible right thing, and it's whatever benefits Tyler. My phone buzzes with a text from Aunt Carol. Family should come first, Brielle. Your brother worked hard for this. 2 years for a 1-year program. The phone buzzes again. Uncle Steve. Your mother is beside herself. Is this really the hill you want to die on? The doorbell rings. I slip on my robe and pad down the hallway, my bare feet silent against the hardwood. Through the peephole, Tyler's face appears distorted and fish-eyed. When I open the door, he's wearing that hangdog expression he's been crafting since childhood. Designer jeans, spotless white sneakers, and that easy, boyish smile that's gotten him out of trouble since he was 5. Hey, sis. He rocks back on his heels, hands stuffed in the pockets of his leather jacket. Can I come in for a sec? I step aside, noticing the glint of something on his wrist as he possesses a new watch. Stainless steel and sleek. A graduation gift, no doubt. Another reward for Tyler trying hard. Nice place, he says, though he's been here before. Twice. Listen, Bree, I've worked really hard for this degree, you know that. I don't correct him. Don't mention the dropped classes, the changed majors, the extra semesters our parents bankrolled without question. Mom and Dad just want to see us both happy. He perches on the edge of my couch, not quite settling in. That's all they've ever wanted. I reach for a stack of cloth napkins on the coffee table and begin folding them for the party, my hands steady and methodical. I am happy, Tyler. Happy for you and your degree. Happy for me and my engagement party that's happening today. He blinks, thrown off script. The carefully rehearsed speech derailed by my calm. You've changed, he says, leaning forward, brow furrowed. You used to be more understanding. My fingers smooth the edges of a napkin into a perfect triangle. Yes, I say, meeting his eyes. I have changed. The front door opens and Marcus strides in carrying 2 folding chairs under each arm. He stops short when he sees Tyler, but recovers quickly. Morning, he says, nodding to my brother. Where do you want these, Bri? By the dining table, please. I continue folding napkins, the stack of completed ones growing beside me. Tyler stands, suddenly awkward in the space between us. He opens his mouth, then closes it when the doorbell rings again. Marcus's parents stand on the doorstep, his mother clutching a tray of deviled eggs, his father holding a box of wine bottles. We thought we'd come early to help set up, his mother says, kissing my cheek as she passes. Her perfume smells like gardenias and warmth. Tyler edges toward the door as Emma arrives with the caterer in tow, directing them toward the kitchen with the confidence of someone who belongs. I should go, Tyler mumbles. Nobody tries to stop him. The next 2 hours pass in a blur of preparations. Marcus and his father arrange furniture while his mother and Emma help me transform my living room into a celebration space. The contrast isn't lost on Methy's people showing up, pitching in, making things happen. The doorbell chimes at exactly 3 p.m. Our first guests. I stand frozen by the kitchen island, watching the clock tick past the official start time. Marcus squeezes my hand before moving to answer. The bell rings again, and again. Cousins filter in. My college roommate, Marcus's colleagues, my boss and his wife. By 4, the house buzzes with voices and laughter. I catch myself watching the door, half expecting my parents to appear. Instead, I spot Aunt Diana Mom's sister slipping off her coat as Marcus takes it. Behind her, Uncle Ray and their daughter Melissa. Brielle, Aunt Diane wraps me in a lavender-scented hug. What a lovely party. You came, I whisper, a question hidden in the statement. She pulls back, holding my shoulders. Of course we came. We wouldn't miss it. More relatives arrive. My father's brother Robert, cousins from my mother's side. People who'd received invitations to both events and made their choice. Marcus's grandmother finds me by the punch bowl, her tiny frame barely reaching my shoulder. She takes my hands in hers, the paper-thin skin cool against my palm. I've waited years to see you this happy, she says, her voice like rustling pages. You deserve every bit of this joy. Something clicks into place inside me, a realization that I'm not missing anything by standing firm. The absence of my parents and their constant disapproval feels like space to breathe, not a void to fill. Tears prick my eyes as I squeeze her hands. Thank you for being here. Where else would I be, she asks, as if the answer is obvious. By sunset, the house overflows with well-wishers. Cousin James corners me by the fireplace, a plate of appetizers balanced in one hand. We stop by Tyler's thing first, he says, popping an olive into his mouth. Only a handful of people there. Your parents looked so uncomfortable, kept checking their phones and looking at the door. I nod, unsure what to say. This, he gestures around the room with his fork, is where the party is. They miscalculated. My phone buzzes in my pocket. A text from a blocked number. We were just trying to help Tyler feel special. You've ruined everything. Marcus appears at my side, champagne flutes in hand. He notices my expression. Who is it? I turn off my phone and slip it back into my pocket. No one important. I accept the champagne, the bubbles catching the light like tiny stars. Not today. Coffee drips into the carafe, the steady plink-plink a metronome to my morning. Marcus whistles off-key from the backyard as he folds chairs, stacking them against the fence. Yesterday's celebration left happy debris champagne flutes with lipstick smudges, half-eaten cake, and silver confetti scattered like fallen stars across our hardwood floors. I sweep confetti into neat piles, savoring the quiet aftermath of what was, by any measure, a perfect engagement party. Every seat filled, every toast heartfelt. The gentle weight of vindication still warm in my chest. The doorbell rings not rings. It pounds, an angry fist hammering against wood with enough force to rattle the hinges. "I'll get it," I call to Marcus, setting aside my broom. My hand barely touches the knob when the pounding starts again. I swing the door open to find Mom, Dad, and Tyler on our doorstep, a tribunal with matching expressions of righteous fury. "How dare you?" Mom's voice slices through the morning quiet, her perfectly manicured finger jabbing toward my face. Behind them, Mrs. Kravitz from across the street waters her petunias with painful slowness, neck craned in our direction. The Rodriguez family pauses their car loading to watch. 3 doors down, the retired high school principal stands frozen with his newspaper. "You deliberately ruined Tyler's celebration," Mom hisses, stepping forward until I can smell her Chanel number 5, the scent of my childhood disappointments. Dad's face blooms crimson, the vein at his temple throbbing. "After everything we've done for you, Brielle. Everything." Tyler lingers half a step behind them, arms crossed, his practiced wounded expression firmly in place. "You've always been jealous of me. Always." The words sound rehearsed, as if they'd prepared their attack in the car. I stand in the doorframe, acutely aware of our audience, of how this tableau must appear the ungrateful daughter facing parental wrath. It's a familiar script, but I'm tired of my assigned role. "I didn't ask anyone to choose between events," I say, my voice quieter than theirs but steady as oak. "People made their own decisions." "Because you manipulated them," Dad barks, spittle collecting at the corner of his mouth. I don't raise my voice to match his. The invitations went out months ago. Tyler's graduation date was set last week. Mom's eyes narrowed to slits. Always so smug, so superior. No wonder Tyler feels overshadowed. Their rage crashes against my calm like waves against a seawall, furious but breaking apart. For the first time, I see how their power diminishes when I refuse to match their chaos. Marcus appears at my shoulder, dish towel still in hand. "I think you should leave," he says, his palms settling warm and steady against my back. Mom's mouth falls open, genuine shock replacing practiced outrage. "This is between family." "I am her family," Marcus replies, voice level as prairie land. Dad steps forward, chest puffed. "Now listen here, young man." "No." The word leaves my lips with surprising force. "You listen. You've said your piece. Now leave." Tyler abandons his silent vigil. "See, she always does this. Thinks she's better than everyone." The neighbors don't even pretend not to watch now. Mrs. Kravitz has abandoned her watering can entirely. "Leave now," I say, pulling my phone from my pocket. "Or I'm calling the police." Mom gasps, hand fluttering to her throat like a wounded bird. "You wouldn't call the police on family." My thumb hovers over the emergency button. "Watch me." The 3 of them stare, frozen in disbelief, as if I've suddenly started speaking in tongues. "She's bluffing," Tyler mutters, but uncertainty creeps into his voice. I press the first digit. "This isn't over," Dad growls, backing down our front steps. "You've always been difficult, Brielle, even as a baby." "You'll regret treating family this way," Mom adds, her voice trembling between anger and tears. They retreat to their Lexus, hurling final barbs that fall short of their target. I stand unmoved until they drive away, neighbors slowly returning to their Sunday activities now that the show has ended. 4 hours later, my phone chimes with a text from Mom. "We were just trying to cheer Tyler up. His girlfriend left him last month. You could show some compassion." I show Marcus the message, my finger hovering over the reply button. "Are you going to respond?" he asks. I set the phone down, screen dark. No. There's power in that simple word, no explanation. No justification, no engagement. We spend the afternoon in peaceful silence, finishing our cleanup, the house gradually returning to normal. A week later, the doorbell rings again, not a pound this time, but a tentative press. Mom stands alone on our doorstep, her expression carefully arranged into contrition. Things got out of hand, she says when I open the door. We shouldn't have come at you like that. I wait, sensing the qualification that hangs in the air between us. But, she continues right on cue, you also owe us an apology for embarrassing us in front of the neighbors, for threatening to call the police, for not understanding about Tyler's situation. I study her face, the face I once searched for approval in every audience, every graduation, every achievement. No, I say quietly. I don't think I do. Her lips press into a thin line. You'll regret this attitude when the wedding comes. The threat hangs between us, but its sting has dulled with repetition. I close the door gently, leaning my forehead against the cool wood. Behind me, the phone rings. Marcus answers from the kitchen. It's my parents, he calls. They want to talk to both of us. I close my eyes, wondering what new boundary will be crossed, what new battle line drawn. The war for my independence, it seems, has only just begun. Marcus's parents arrive just before noon. Their car pulls into our driveway at precisely 11:47. Richard still operates on military time from his Navy days. Through the kitchen window, I watch them emerge, faces drawn with concern I rarely see on their composed features. They look worried, I say as Marcus opens the door. Eleanor embraces me before I can finish my greeting. Her perfume the same Estee Lauder she's worn since the 80s envelopes me like a shield. Your parents came to our house last night, Richard says, not bothering with preliminaries. His white mustache twitches, a tell I've learned signals suppressed anger. Eleanor pulls back, smoothing her cardigan. 10 o'clock. No warning call. What? Marcus's hand finds my shoulder. They showed up on our doorstep, Richard continues, accepting the coffee I offer. Said they needed to talk about the wedding. My stomach knots. I'm sorry. Don't you dare apologize. Eleanor's voice carries an edge I've never heard directed at me. We're not upset with you. What did they want? I ask, though I already know. Richard sets his mug down with military precision. New allies. They figured if they couldn't convince you, they'd recruit us. They spent 20 minutes explaining how you've turned against family. Eleanor shakes her head, silver's bouncing. They praised Talerth's good son who still lives at home, calls every day, attends church with them. The cup trembles in my hand. And you believed them? Brielle. Richard's eyes the same warm brown as Marcus's lock onto mine. We've known you 9 years. We see who you are. My throat tightens. Eleanor takes the seat beside me. They suggested we both withhold wedding support. She reaches for my free hand. Can you imagine? The audacity. What did you say? Marcus asks. Richard laughs a sharp bark that makes me jump. I told them we support your decisions completely. That family doesn't manipulate family. Richard was quite direct. Eleanor's lips quirk upward. I believe the phrase emotional blackmail was used. Then we called you immediately, Richard adds, though it was late, so we waited till morning. A laugh bubbles up from my chest, surprising me. It's been weeks since I felt anything but dread when thinking about family. Marcus joins in, then Richard's deep rumble, and finally Eleanor's musical trill. The kitchen fills with the sound, washing away some of the heaviness I've carried. When the laughter fades, I rise from the table. I need to show you something. In my home office, I unlock the bottom drawer of my desk. The leather-bound journal inside has accumulated entries for nearly 15 years. I've never shown it to anyone, not even Marcus. What's that? Eleanor asks as I return. Evidence. I open to the first page, dated from my high school graduation. My neat handwriting documents the cancellation of my graduation dinner because Tyler had a baseball game. Page after page chronicles a pattern. Tyler's failed screenwriting business, funded by my parents to the tune of $40,000. My magna cum laude graduation, attended by only my cousin Emma because Tyler had a soccer tournament. The year my Christmas gifts were wrapped in newspaper while Tyler received a new car, because he needed reliable transportation for his pizza delivery job. I flipped through Faster Naomi Engineering Award ceremony. My parents skipped to attend Tyler's community college orientation. My promotion dinner, they left early because Tyler called with a flat tire. "You've been documenting all this?" Marcus asked quietly. I nod. At first, it was to convince myself I wasn't crazy, that the pattern was real. Richard's jaw tightens as he reads an entry from 3 years ago. "I've never seen it all together like this," I admit. "It's undeniable." Eleanor squeezes my hand. "What will you do now?" My mind is suddenly startlingly clear. I'm meeting Mom for coffee tomorrow at the Bluebird Cafe. Public setting, Richard notes with approval. Smart. She thinks it's reconciliation. I close the journal. She's wrong. I picture my mother sitting across the table, expecting apologies and compromise. But for once, the calm settling over me isn't forced or fragile. I'm bringing this. I tap the journal. It's time she sees what I've seen all along. "Are you sure?" Marcus asks. But his tone tells me he already knows my answer. I nod. No more pretending. No more accepting that I deserve less consideration than Tyler. The next afternoon, my mother's face brightens when she spots me entering the cafe. She's already ordered chamomile tea with honey, her afternoon ritual since the 70s. I slide into the chair across from her, place the journal on the table between us. "I'm so glad you called, honey," she begins. "I knew you'd come around. This is why I won't apologize." I push the journal toward her. Her smile falters. "What's this?" 15 years of evidence. She flips it open, confusion spreading across her features as she scans the first page. Then the second, by the third, color drains from her face. "You've been keeping score?" Her voice rises, drawing glances from nearby tables. I needed proof. For myself, mostly. She snaps the journal shut. "This is ridiculous. Families don't—" "I need distance," I interrupt. The words feel like releasing a breath I've held too long. "No contact until you acknowledge the favoritism." Her mouth opens, closes, opens again. "You're welcome to attend the wedding as guests," I continue. "Not as honored parents, your choice." Something shifts in her eyes, a mask slipping. "You've always been difficult, even as a child." There it is, the truth finally spoken aloud. Not disappointment that I'm failing to meet some standard, but resentment that I exist at all. "And that's exactly why I'm making this decision," I reply, voice steady. I stand, leave the journal on the table, her inheritance. At home, Marcus looks up from his laptop. "How did it go?" A peace I haven't felt in years settles over me. I smile and nod, the strained expression I've perfected for family gatherings, but something genuine. It went exactly as expected. On the coffee table, our wedding invitations wait, addressed but unsealed. Tomorrow's decision. Sunlight filters through antique lace curtains, catching the delicate beadwork on my dress. I stand at the window, watching guests arrive in twos and threes, each face familiar and welcome. No strangers invited out of obligation. No empty chairs where parents should sit. The venue buzzes with genuine laughter. Flowers in shades of cream and blush adorn every surface, exactly as I pictured. Marcus's mother arranged them herself, staying up late with me last night, her fingers working alongside mine. "Ready?" Marcus's father appears in the doorway, his silver hair combed back, boutonniere perfectly straight. I smooth my hands over ivory silk. "Yes." He offers his arms, sturdy and sure. "You look beautiful, Brielle." No drama, no last-minute demands. Just calm certainty as we walk toward the garden where Marcus waits. The string quartet begins playing as we step onto the stone path. Faces turn, smiles genuine. Emma winks from her position as my maid of honor. Marcus's eyes find mine, steady and clear. We stop at the altar. The minister's voice carries across the garden. "Who gives this woman to be married today?" Marcus's father squeezes my hand. "She gives herself, with our blessing." My throat tightens. I step forward alone, strong in my independence yet surrounded by chosen family. Marcus takes my hands in his, and I feel the last weight lift from my shoulders. The years since standing my ground has been a revelation. Thanksgiving at Marcus's parents' house, his mother teaching me her stuffing recipe, no competition for attention. Christmas morning with hot chocolate and silly gifts, no walking on eggshells. Pass the potatoes, dear, my mother-in-law says, during Sunday dinner, her voice warm with genuine affection. These new traditions fill spaces once occupied by tension. The constant knot in my stomach has unraveled, leaving room for joy. At the reception, Emma raises her glass. To Brielle and Marcus, to choosing peace over obligation. Cheers erupt, the crystal sound of glasses clinking like wind chimes in a gentle breeze. I scan the room, college friends who supported me through sleepless study nights. Coworkers who celebrated my promotions. Marcus's extended family who welcomed me without reservation. No complicated history, no scorekeeping. My cousin Jennifer approaches during the cake cutting, her voice low. Can I talk to you a minute? We step aside. She twists her napkin between nervous fingers. My boyfriend's family, they're like yours were, always making me feel small. I recognize the doubt in her eyes, questioning whether standing up for herself might cost too much. Your happiness matters too, I tell her, gripping her hand. It took me years to believe that. Her shoulders straighten slightly. How did you find the courage? One small boundary at a time. Marcus and I sway on the dance floor, other couples circling around us like planets in gentle orbit. This has been the most peaceful year of my life, I whisper against his shoulder. His arms tighten around me. Because you finally put yourself first. I think of the tense kitchen where this journey began, invitations scattered, phone clutched in trembling hands. The contrast takes my breath away. Sunset paints the sky as we drive away, cans rattling behind us. I turn for one last look at our celebration, joyful faces waving from the steps. Sometimes the family you choose is more valuable than the family you're born into, I say, more to myself than to Marcus. He takes my hand across the console, and the road ahead stretches clear and unburdened. 1 year later, I arrange photographs in our wedding album. Each image captures genuine connection, laughter during toasts, quiet moments of reflection, jubilant dancing. My hand rests on the last empty page, ready for new memories. The weight of obligation no longer shadows each celebration. Cutting toxic family out was the best gift I ever gave myself. The gift of peace, of genuine connection, of truth. Far better than staying where I was never quite enough.